So welcome to this Fascial Maneuvers class where we're going to go over a few arm ones up into the shoulder, a few of the central body ones, and then starting with our hips and working all our way down to our ankles. So to start with, we're going to do twisty wristy. Now throughout the class we're going to make sure we've got our spinal pelvic lock on, so we're pulling our belly button to our spine and we're pulling our sex organs up, so we've got this nice strong core. And we're going to do alternating breaths between 3 through our mouth and 3 through our nose. And we move slowly. It's really important that we move slow when we move around doing the maneuvers. So for twisty wristy, we stick out our right hand and with our fingers facing down, our palms facing away from us. And we're going to pull the fingers back towards our body while we're sort of pushing that wrist out away from the body. And we're going to bring the arm up and put our spinal pelvic lock on, and we're just going to slowly start to explore different angles, remembering to do 3 breaths through your mouth and then 3 breaths through your nose, and just keep alternating that breathing pattern if that's what feels comfortable for you. When you feel, and you can move your feet around, you can go down into a squat. There's no right or wrong. If you do get to an area where there's a little bit of a tension line, I want you to stay there and really set the intention of breathing into that tension and using the breath to open it up. Now we're going to come back to our starting position with our fingers down and our hand out. Then we're going to bring the wrist towards our shoulder, so we're in that position. Then we're going to turn the fingers out. We're going to squat down, we're going to turn our head to the left and our body towards the right. And you can sink down a little bit further if that feels nice. And 3 breaths through your mouth. And 3 breaths through your nose. And as you can see, I'm twisting a little bit further. As my fascia releases, I'm able to twist a little bit more. And coming up and letting that out. Whew. I need a nice shake after that one. What you may also find, and as you can see here, my hand that I've done is longer than my other hand. So often you will find that your arm gets longer after twisty wristy. A really good example of how our bones float within our fascia. If our bones were structure, we couldn't have one arm longer than the other from just doing a fascial maneuver. So a really powerful one to release that fascia all the way up through your fingertips, but all the way up to your shoulder and releasing that. So let's even up the body and we'll do the other side. So left hand out with your fingers pointing down, palm facing away from you, using your right hand to pull the fingers back, and we're pushing and extending that wrist forward. Now we've got our spinal pelvic lock on, and we're going to slowly lift that arm up. And once again, we're going to do the alternating breathing, 3 through the mouth and 3 through the nose as you start to slowly move around. As you can see, I like to curl my back, but you don't have to. You can go flat back. As I said, you can explore different feet. You can twist around. Just making sure though that you do have conscious breathing as we use the breath to open up our fascia layers. And coming up back to that starting position with your hand out in front. Then we're going to bend the arm with the wrist coming back towards the shoulder. Then we're going to turn our fingers out. We're going to squat down. We're going to turn our head to the right, our body to the left, and squat down a little bit more. And 3 breaths through your mouth. And 3 breaths through your nose. And coming up. Shaking it out. Going for a bit of a walk to allow the changes to integrate between the maneuvers. As you can see, I like to actually shake the hand. You can go for a bit of a jump. You can do figure eights with your arm, and of course the figure eight walking with your body. Okay, now we're going to do the wrist release. So for the wrist release, we're going to place our right hand out with our palm facing upwards out in front of us. With our left hand, we're going to grab our wrist underneath, and we're going to pull up towards our shoulder while we push the hand through like we're putting a glove on. But they're going to twist the skin outwards, and we're going to turn the hand inwards. And we're just going to slowly move the wrist around while we do that. Move your fingers, you can move your arm, making sure we're breathing, alternating that breath and letting it go. So because our wrists are connected with our ankles, really nice to be able to work your wrists to free up the opposite ankle as well. I'm getting a really nice warm feeling as we open up the fascia and more blood and oxygen can go in. So we're going to do the other arm. So exactly the same. We put our left hand out with our palm facing upwards. We're going to grab our right hand and we're going to grab it down near our wrist. We're going to push the hand through like a glove, and we're going to pull up with the hand towards our shoulder. We're going to turn the skin outwards. We're going to turn this hand inwards. So we've got that really nice counter rotation and torque happening. And we're going to twist our fingers. So we've locked pressure in our hand, our wrist there, and now we're using movement and breath to change the pressure within the other parts of our body. All right. Letting it out, clunking everywhere, everything's getting all happy here. And now we're going to do the elbow torque. So this is a really nice one to open up, even up into the neck, into the shoulder. And as we move around, you can even open up into your back. So nice one to extend into the whole body, really. So we're going to place our right hand just on the back, sort of near our neck there, just comfortably placed there. And you're going to turn the skin on your elbow in both directions. And what I want you to have a feel into it, and if you want to shut down your eyes, sometimes it's easy to tune in when you do that. But which way does the skin not want to turn? There'll be one way it doesn't want to turn as easy, and that's the way we're going to hold it. Now it's really important, so I've turned the skin, and I'm going to hold it there the whole time. So important that throughout the exercise that you hold it there. Now we've got our spinal pelvic lock on. Our feet are just a comfortable hip width apart. And all we're going to do is we're going to turn our head to the right shoulder and turn our body over towards the left. And as you can see, what you might find is that as you go, you might be able to turn that little bit more. And we're going to keep it in this position, and now we're actually going to lift it up above our head. If you can't get it above your head, if that's as far as you can go, that is fine. Whatever is comfortable for you. If you can only get it to there, that is fine. You can still follow along. We're going to turn our head to the right, spinal pelvic lock on. We're actually going to lean over towards the left, creating that expansion across the right rib cage. I'm going to breathe 3 times through our mouth. and 3 times through your nose. And you're just going to now take a little bit of time to explore different motions. You need to keep that elbow locked, so that torque on the elbow. You need to keep looking with your head over your right armpit. But you can just start to move around like you did in Twisty Wristy. You can move your legs, making sure you're still breathing and that you're moving slowly. So our shoulders are connected to our hips, so it can be nice to do some squats and letting it go. Just taking a moment to tune in with your body. See how that feels. I feel like freer on this side, and I feel like my shoulder's sitting in a different position, which you might be able to see. Anyway, we'll do the other side. So, the left hand, we're putting it on the back of our shoulder there. And again, we're going to take just a few moments to check in with our body and see which way it's tighter. So for me, it's that way. And we've got our spinal pelvic lock on. Just going to turn our head to the left, body to the right, and 1, 2, 3, and 3 breaths through your nose. And coming back to centre. We've just had the rain start here, so it's a little bit noisy, but we'll finish this one off and then I might move inside. And so head to the left. We're going to lean our body over towards the right, and we're going to do 3 breaths through our mouth. 1, 2, 3, and 3 breaths through your nose. You can stick your hips out to the left and increase it if that feels right for you. And then slowly, still continuing your breath and still engaging the core. We're just going to move around, finding that different area of tension that your body needs to release. Letting it out. Well, the rain might have hasn't stopped enough. Hope it's not too loud. So I broke my microphone, so having to do it without a microphone. Okay, so we've done some of the arm ones. We're now going to move to the central core. So first one we're going to do is the psoas. So for that one, we want to go find your belly button, find your hip, you sort of draw a line and you go about in between both of those. I like to do it skin on skin. I just find I get a better grip. You don't have to. Please certainly feel free to do it on top of your clothes. So I've got my hands down on my right side. So putting your hands between your belly button and your hip bone, right in the middle there on your right side. We're going to push in and then you're going to pull up. Now you may already feel a little bit of a stretch in your skin. It's not going to break, I promise. But it's a really nice release line down there. And then we're going to step back with the same foot that our hands are on. This is just in a comfortable little lunge position. Doesn't have to be a big one, just a comfortable few feet. Then what we're going to do is we're going to push your hips forward. We're pushing that, and that should really increase that feeling of the stretch down the front. And we're going to do 3 breaths through our mouth. And you can also start to move around as you do your 3 breaths through your nose, just getting different angles, what feels right for your body. You can lean, you can stick that hip out and letting go. So as you've noticed throughout most of the fascial maneuvers, we really encourage you to tune into your body and what feels right for your body and how you need to move. We show you the base sort of maneuver, and then you can adapt it to what your body needs at this time. So we'll do the other side. So again, we're finding the hip bone. There's my hip bone, there's my belly button. So we're drawing a line between the two, and I'm going to place my hands right smack bang in the middle there. All right, we're going to push in, we're going to pull up, might already be a bit owie. It's okay, we're placing that foot backwards in that comfortable position. Then we're pushing the hips forward. You can lean back a little bit and look up with your chest. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 breaths through your nose as you start to explore different movements. Gotta say maneuvers. And going for a bit of a walk. So for me, that always activates my glutes, and I feel a little bit of a difference, obviously at the front, but also at the back. And the next one we're going to do are the 3 core central ones. So we're going to start off with the bladder release. Now for this one, just tuck my t-shirt in so you can see. So for the bladder, we're going to go just above the pubic bone. So find your pubic bone, go in, you're going to have your fingers pointing downwards, and you're going to push in with your flat of your fingers, not your fingernails. So we're not going in that way, we're going in flat. So flat. And then you're going to twist so your thumb goes up. Now we're going to do exactly the same sort of, but at the back of our body. And this time we're going to push in and twist so your thumb's pointing downwards. We're going in the opposite direction. So you're sort of more starting with your fingers pointing up, and then your thumbs pointing down. So the opposite direction as the front. And 1, 2, 3, and then 3 breaths through your nose. 1, 2, 3, and give those hands a shake. It's also really nice, you can give them a rub together, all different parts. This is a lovely thing to do before you do the organ reset or any maneuver work, really. Building your energy. So remember, we're all energy. And then let them go and feel that energy as you go out. And see how far out you can go. That's really cool. You can move it around. One of my favorites. Throw on the energy. Alright, we've warmed up our hands. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, but on our belly button this time. So we're going to push in, fingers are facing down. We're going to push in and turn so our fingers are facing up. Same spot but at the back. Fingers are facing up. And then we're turning so our thumb's pointing down. So we're in the opposite direction. And 3 breaths through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, and 3 breaths through your nose. Shake those hands out. Give them another rub together. Alright, solar plexus, so exactly the same, but up at the solar plexus. So this is where the sternum, just below the sternum, where the ribs meet in the middle here. So find that soft spot. And we're going to start with our fingers pointing down and pushing in. You can't forget the push in. And then do it so your thumb's pointing up. Same area at the back. Fingers turn so your thumb's pointing down. And 1, 2, 3, and then 3 breaths through your nose. 1, 2, 3, and shake it out. Now I'm just going to grab a quick chair. So you can do these sitting on the floor, sitting on a chair. I'm going to demonstrate them on a chair today. I generally do them on the floor, but we're not. So this is the knee talk. So for the knee talk, we're going to place so our hands, our fingers are pointing down and our thumbs pointing down as well. We're going to like push on the knees on the skin, and then we're going to turn it sort of outwards so that our elbows are going out like that. So we've started there and our hands are moving like that. And 1, 2, and 3 through your mouth, making sure your chest is up. And then 3 through your nose. 2, 3. You can even lean forward a little bit and put that pressure on. So you can hold this one for as long as you like. Really nice to even up to 3 minutes as you start to open up. If you are sitting on the floor, a little bit of a variation is that pretending I'm sitting on the floor. I actually like to use 2 hands around the top of the kneecap, and I actually turn it both ways. So let's pretend sitting on the floor. Let's bring that leg down. I'm turning the knee, and then I'm literally just moving the knee in the hip socket. You can extend the leg a little bit, you can roll your ankle around, and then you can turn the skin, the kneecap in the opposite direction, and you'll feel it in different lines. So for me, no right or wrong in this, but when I go out, I can feel it heading into my hips. When I turn it in, I can still feel it into my hip, but I feel it more going down towards my ankle. And once again, just doing your breaths and moving your knee. So that is a variation. One other variation that I like to do for the knee talk is I actually do it in a squat. So when I'm down in a squat, I cross my hands over and I turn that way, so my hands are there, and then I turn so the skin's going out. I'm going out towards the outside of my leg. So I do this one before I go for a run, and it has really helped reduce the swelling in my knees. So it's a really nice one. So the next one we're going to do is another knee one. So for this one, we're going to interlock our fingers and we're going to place it sort of in the crease of our knee there. And just need to move my chair around so I can demonstrate it properly. As I said, this can be done on the floor, but we've got this position and we're stretching the leg out. We're sort of pulling on the skin down towards our bottom, but we're also using our body weight. So you can see I'm leaning back, and we're going to then slowly move the foot around. And of course we're using our breath. And you can move the whole leg around. Now this is really nice for the hamstring, and also you've worked the front of the knee. It's also working a little bit. So you can go down as far as you want. You don't have to be up near the knee. If you feel like you need to do it down further towards your bottom, that is fine. There's no right or wrong, remember. So that was my left leg. I don't mind if you do your right leg first, just make sure you do both legs. So, interlocking your fingers, placing it down towards where your knee bends. Then we're going to stretch that leg out, we're going to push on the skin, and we're going to pull the skin down towards our bottom, and we're going to lean back. And we're going to move the foot around, and we're going to breathe. As I said, you can move the whole leg around, do a little bit of a bend if that feels nice. You can move it up and down. So just remembering to breathe and to move. All right. Now, chair back. So the next one that we can do is a shin one. So this can be done standing, sitting on a chair, or sitting on the ground. So we're going to, again, interlock our fingers. I'm using my left leg this time. And we're going to start off down towards the ankle. And then we're going to push in on the skin, and we're going to pull up while we're sort of pushing our foot through, like putting on a sock. And again, we're just going to breathe and slowly move our foot around. Now, if you get to a spot, again, that's a little bit of a tight tension line, I want you to hold it there. I want you to set the intention that you're going to release the fascia, and you're going to use your breath. So again, it's generally the 3 breaths through your mouth and 3 breaths through your nose. If you need longer, that is fine. That is up to you. So we're going to stay on the left leg while we're here. We're going to do, move my chair around again. We're going to do the same as what we did, but underneath this time. So instead of on top of the shin, we're going to do it underneath on the calf. If you want to do it up more mid-calf, that is fine. Your body will tell you where you need to do it. And a little bit hesitant to show my feet on camera. I've been walking all day in bare feet. I wear bare feet a lot. Doesn't make for the cleanest feet. And so we're breathing. And moving. All right. Generally, I get people in my classes to go up and go for a walk after we've done one side, just so that you can notice the difference. So if you want to take a moment to get up and stand, always feel a lot lighter and freer on the side that we've done. So we'll repeat on the other side. So shin first, so interlocking fingers down towards your ankle, but pulling up to wherever it feels right for you. And I often get clunky in the neck when I do these ankle work. So 3 breaths through your nose. And then underneath, go down towards, so you're interlocking your fingers, pushing in on the skin, pulling up towards you, pushing your foot away, and then so much neck cracking going on here, it's lovely. So 3 breaths through your mouth, 3 breaths through your nose. All right. And then an ankle torque. So we're going to place both of, so I've got my right leg this time, swapping, keeping you on your toes. So we've got our right ankle up on our left. And what we're going to do is we're going to place both hands down near our ankles, and one hand's going to go one way on the leg and the other hand's going to go the other. Doesn't matter which way to start with, because we are going to swap. So we're just going to do 3 breaths through the mouth. Swap over, so if the ham's going backwards, it now goes forwards and vice versa. And 3 breaths through your nose. And left leg, so left leg up on your, if you can't get it up on your leg, you can do it down like this, that is fine, however you feel can get it done. So both hands down towards your ankle, one turning away from you, one pulling towards you, and 3 breaths through your mouth as you move your foot. 1, 2, 3, and then swap over, so in the opposite directions you were just doing, and turning the foot around, breathing 3 times through your nose. All right, last one we're going to finish off with is the hip release. So we have to get down on the floor for this one. I'll just push the chair away. So, down on the floor. Make sure you can still see me. Yep. So we're going to lie on our back. We're going to place our right foot over our left. And we're going to bring them up towards our chest. Just pulling my pants away. We're going to pull the skin down on our shins and then twisting it towards while we lift our head to the right. You can try the left, see what feels right for you. We're sort of lifting our head up and towards the side as we pull the knees into the chest, but also away and twisting that skin on our shins. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 breaths through your nose. 1, 2, 3. Now, squeeze around, and this time we'll do our left leg over, and we're going to pull our legs up. We're pulling down on the skin on our shins. We're sort of like pulling the ankles away and twisting the skin. So you're pulling the skin down and towards as we move our head to the left. 1, 2, 3. Pulling those knees towards you still. And 3 breaths through your nose. And release. Thank you very much for joining me for the class. Hope you're feeling better. Remember, it's really nice to take a moment to tune in, see what's shifted for you, and